Supreme Leader of the First Order, Supreme Leader Snoke, a genetically and biologically formed Strandcast clone, is single-handedly one of the most formidable Darksiders that we know in this canonical Star Wars universe, staking his claim as a mysterious, enigmatic, eerie character with cryptid origins from the very beginning in his debut in The Force Awakens as an enormous holo-projected being. Snoke was an exceptionally powerful Darkseid adept, knowing many Darkseid techniques that not even Darth Vader knew, having been taught single-handedly by possibly the most powerful Sith Lord of all time in Darth Sidious. There were few who had better tutelage under a Sith than Snoke, possibly than Vitiate and Nihilus. Supreme Leader Snoke was exceptionally gifted in the dark side, with a midichlorian count surpassing even the most powerful Jedi such as Mace Windu. Although not on par with Yoda, Supreme Leader Snoke was an incredibly powerful being in his own right. Now, I turn ourselves to The Last Jedi. In The Last Jedi, in the throne room sequence, which ultimately results in the death of Snoke, we can clearly see that Snoke is boasting and bragging about his ability to perceive Kylo Ren's head, see his every thought, and predict his next move. This was perhaps Snoke's arrogance going into play, and perhaps these claims were never actually validated at all, and Snoke only said this to unnerve Rey and to throw Kylo Ren off. However, this would be his downfall, as we all know. Kylo Ren used the Force by concealing his right hand to manipulate the Skywalker lightsaber into bisecting Snoke in the midsection, ultimately resulting in the Supreme Leader, in all his dark side power far surpassing anything Rey or Ben combined could wield, and his death, resulting in the Supreme Leader of the First Order dying and Kylo Ren attaining the mantle of Leader of the First Order. So, how is Snoke, in all his prediction and mind-probing ability, beyond possibly anything we had ever seen in all of the Star Wars universe, capable to peer into others' thoughts? Why was Snoke unable to see Kylo Ren about to backstab him? Why could he not see and detect the slither of light that remained within Ben Solo? Are you ready, my friends? As today we are exploring the ruins of the Supremacy, voyaging into the depths of unknown space, in order to uncover how did Snoke not detect his imminent death. Are you ready, my friends? Let's open this holocron about the First Order. Starting off, we have to lay down the ground of this scene. We see Rey being brought in custody towards Snoke within his throne room. Snoke's throne room highly resembles Palpatine's, possibly a coincidence, as we will later figure out that Palpatine's throne room was actually designed with the purpose of building Snoke's throne room. Snoke's throne room was built off the design, but not identical to the design of Palpatine's. Snoke begins on telekinetically manipulating the Skywalker lightsaber to hit Rey in the back of the head after she attempts to forcibly take it and sever the Supreme Leader in half. Snoke continues to telekinetically use the Force to toy with Rey, even using Mind Probe on her, an ability that we have never seen matched in all of Star Wars history, canon or legends, to Snoke's level of potency. Snoke uses Mind Probe in order to dominate Rey's seemingly indomitable will, perceiving the location of Luke Skywalker on Ahch-To, the island, the Prime Jedi, Mosaic, and every single thing that Rey saw on Ahch-To. Seeing Luke Skywalker's disbelief in the philosophy led by the Jedi and their ideologies. Snoke responds saying that he did not believe Skywalker could be so wise, and that he wanted to give the Jedi Order and Skywalker what they desire, their death. Snoke then continues to brag to Rey, with Rey running over, and also seeing using the Force. Snoke continues to use the Force to toy with Rey and telekinetically manipulate her, moving her over to a hologram that depicts the Resistance' slow, agonizing death, with the First Order blaster cannons and turbo lasers shooting off blast after blast to explode the Resistance transport with no weapons or shields to defend themselves. Snoke then ragdolls Rey back in front of him, after Rey uses the Force to grab Kylo Ren's lightsaber and attempts to sever the Supreme Leader's ringed hand. Then we get into the real part of Snoke's death. We can see that Snoke continues to praise Kylo Ren, using titles such as Son of Darkness, heir apparent to Lord Vader, and complimenting him, saying that where he saw weakness there was strength, and that there was no conflict between the light and the dark side within the young Ben Solo. This would prove to be Snoke's fatal downfall, as he can easily and effortlessly peer through Kylo Ren's mind. But what he didn't consider was that Kylo Ren was working against him, and not against Rey. This ultimately results in Snoke's death, as we have seen in The Last Jedi. And if you haven't seen The Last Jedi, I'm seriously concerned about you. Snoke is severed through the midsection, but how did this play out? What actually happened was Snoke was right. Snoke was looking for any detection of the light side signature that he had sensed within Ben Solo after murdering his father, and the guilt he felt. It is true, Kylo Ren still felt guilt, but he cloaked it using the dark side of the Force. Snoke was looking for the light side spark that continues to grow every time he mules over the death of his father, every time he thinks about his mother and his uncle. He wants to hate them. He wants nothing but to hate them, but he can't. This is the light that Snoke senses, but Snoke doesn't sense it in this moment because it is not there. Ren is still very much a dark side user, but it is a dark side user working against Snoke. Ren believes that Snoke is merely a puppet master and wants to test the Supreme Leader's power, in many ways borrowing very many philosophies from the Rule of Two, killing his master. The reason Snoke did not sense it is because Ren did not want him to sense it. He used the Force to suppress it. Ren was very much a dark side user. And Snoke could tell this. He peered into his thoughts and saw that Ren was aligned with the darkness, with not even a spark of light to guide him. And yet, with all his wisdom, he could not perceive that Ren was working against him. He got cocky. He believed that he could not be beaten, that he could not be betrayed. He saw that Ren was aligned with the darkness and believed that must mean he was aligned with him. Oh, how far Snoke had fallen. He had gotten cocky, arrogant. This was actually orchestrated by Darth Sidious, as the Secrets of the Sith novel states, stating that Palpatine actually orchestrated Snoke's death as a way of disallowing Snoke to kill Rey, as if Snoke murdered Rey, or Kylo murdered Rey. Then in the end, Palpatine would die on Exegol, alone, without a clone body to inhabit, despite the fruitless efforts of the Sith Eternal. Well, my friend, what did you think of this video? Snoke is a very complex character that I hope to visit later in the channel, and I'm soon going to compile a lore compilation about him. I just need to upload a few more videos relating to the Supreme Leader before I have enough content to compile into roughly an hour and a half long video. Goodbye, my friends, and I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away, perhaps lurking around the ruins of the Supremacy.